everybody, it's Calxiyn here. If you guys enjoyed this video, remember that if you guys want to support us, you guys should become patrons over on Patreon. So I actually wanted to talk about something that I saw on Twitter today, which you guys know if I saw it on Twitter, you know, that's a recipe for disaster. But no. So somebody on Twitter, whose name is John Green, but their @ seems to be Green Jaw.
That's not John
That's not the real John Green, guys.
No.
Anyway, while I'm on the subject of RWBY rinse, I'm sick of people telling me that Blake didn't choose Yang as her partner. So you mean that wasn't Blake shadowing Yang throughout the Emerald Forest? You can make out the silhouette of an arm in long flowy black hair. And then they put some pictures, and I never noticed that before. But, like, obviously the picture's gonna be the thumbnail, so if you look at it, Hunter, like, that's definitely Blake.
That's
kind of interesting.
That's gonna be a really, this is a fabulous outfit. That is gonna be, like, this really fucking confusing thumbnail for people. It's like, what is that?
Anyway.
How is it?
So I was kind of thinking about that, and I was like, that's kind of interesting. Because I think other people have sort of realized it by now, I'm sure. But I just think that that's sort of cool that she was stalking Yang through the forest. Like, in the nicest way possible. So obviously people are going to be like, oh, that's Bumblebee fuel. There you go. But I want to kind of talk about something else. Like, I have another angle for this,
yes.
I think. So I'm just kind of thinking, I wonder if Blake stalked out everyone and then decided that Yang was her best bet in this poor, confusing world. Like, you know what I mean? That she ran around, she saw Cardin, and she was like, no, he seems a little sketchy. She saw Jean and Pyrrha, and, like, they were already together, right? She saw Weiss and RWBY, and she was like, what? You know what I mean? Like, maybe she saw some other people, that were in their class. Like, maybe she saw Ren and Nora before Ren and Nora, like, you know, found each other, right? Like, she saw, like, everybody, and she was just sort of like, you know, before everyone got together. So she kind of surveyed, and she's like, that RWBY girl seemed nice, but I'm not really feeling her, you know? Like, Jean stuck in a tree, because, you know, Weiss and Jean and RWBY were all in the same area at one point, right? And then Weiss was like, oh, I guess I'll take you, like, RWBY instead of Jean, because Jean was just sort of stuck up there, right? You remember that?
Yes, I do.
And so, I think that that's kind of interesting. And it would be nice if, you know, Blake was like, like, I guess I could go for Pyrrha, but that may draw too much attention, like, to me, and I'm a terrorist. So, maybe not.
You want a little, I love that, and I'm a terrorist.
And so, like, eventually you sort of go through all of them, you know what I mean? Like, eventually, you know,
what a terrorist.
Blake goes through everybody, and maybe she's like, Pyrrha seems like my best bet in terms of strength, but she's gonna draw too much attention to me as a person. You know what I mean? And so eventually she, like, finds Yang, and she's like, okay, but let's see how she fights first, because the bear is coming. And so she watches Yang attack the bear, she's like, and then she's like, alright, you're good enough, you know what I mean? Like, you have the strength that maybe Pyrrha would, without the attention that Pyrrha would, or the strength that Weiss would without being a dick like Weiss. So, yes, you seem like a viable option, and picked her. Or, you know, it could have been like, that girl's kind of hot. You know? I'm not gonna judge. But, like, I don't know, I just think that's really interesting, because that sort of implies a couple things, and I think that's more interesting for, like, the story, I guess, to an extent. Just because, like, if Bumblebee does happen, or if it doesn't, like, you sort of have this, like, I don't want to say, like, lineage, because that sounds weird, but you have a timeline, right? And it's like, you know, RWBY kind of got confronted by Blake and Weiss, right? And so Yang sort of went in to fix things, right? And so that was their first interaction. Then Blake sort of had at the back of her head, like, that blonde girl, though. You know, in whatever capacity that it was, she seems like an okay partner if I had to pick one. Because, like, let's be honest, everybody else kind of sucks. Like, at least for Blake. Like, Weiss and Pyrrha are good partners, but Weiss is a bad person. And like I said, Pyrrha may draw too much attention to somebody that's trying to hide from Adam, right? Because Pyrrha is a bit of a celebrity.
Like, you could imagine
John is trash. Nora and Ren are sort of attached at the hip already. Like, what other options did she have other than Team Cardinal and, like...
And
what
no
a fucking disaster! So, right?
That would imagine what RWBY would be like as a show if it was Blake and Cardinal.
Yeah, and Cardin.
Like that or
right?
Cardin. Yeah, that would just be fucking weird.
Exactly. And of course, Team Coffee was already second year, so they already had their team by now.
It would be like if the Fox and the Hound was an anime.
Oh my god. But yeah, and so you kind of have that, and then you have sort of Blake just watching Yang through the forest,
Chan, save
right?
me from the wolves, or whatever the fuck happened. Or the bear. Fox Chan, save me from bear.
Oh god. But yeah, you kind of have, like, you know, her stalking Blake through the woods, or stalking Yang through the woods, you know what I mean? And then she's like, oh, I guess I'll choose you, human. And this is the thing, right? Cats choose you as an owner. Like,
Yeah.
you know what? Dogs are happy with whoever the fuck, but cats, if they don't like you, they won't pick you. You know what I mean? Like, you are chosen by a cat. You are not chosen by a dog. Do you know what I mean, Hunter?
My cat never really chose you, I don't think.
I know. I'm not saying she did. I'm just saying, like, cats pick.
I'm just saying,
Right.
I don't want you to,
And
like,
so
ruminate on that too much.
I'm just saying, like, I feel like that goes back into almost her faunushood, if that makes sense. But yeah, you see that at the beginning and how they sort of met each other and interacted, and then you see all the way up until now how far their relationship has come, and it's like, whoa.
Is it the same
Like, you
thing
know what
where
I
it's
mean?
just like, wow, my cat's acting, like, first Blake was acting like an asshole, and now she's just like, she stopped pooping in random places, and that was your phone, and now... your lock screen is Tom Holland as Spider-Man.
Okay, did you have to tell them that?
Yes, I did.
Anyway, but yeah, you understand what I mean? I just thought that was cool, and I think that's a really cool thing to think about as a concept, you know?
Yes.
Just that, how far their relationship has come from, like, Blake sort of, and that's something that I would like to see them bring up in Volume 5, is that I chose you as a partner. It
Oh.
wasn't something like random
Oh,
chance.
man.
You know what I mean? And have
Oh,
Yang
man.
be like, you do love me, Blake. You know what I mean? Like something like
the
that.
Bumblebee feels would be so hard. Cal, can I tell you something?
What?
I'm a genius because you know that RWBY fanfiction I never finished.
Yeah?
Yeah, I made Blake do that too.
You mean, aww.
But
Did
not
you?
like I chose you, just for be like,
What
well,
does
I don't
that
like
mean?
these fuckers, but I like this fucker.
Oh, I see.
Yes. Wait, what does what mean?
What?
Nothing.
Nothing. Anyway, yeah, I just think that that's kind of, like, cool if she were to say that. Like, Yang was like, you left me, and then Blake would be like, but I chose you. You know? Like, I wanted
mean,
you
to be
as a
fair, the
partner.
pickings was slim.
I mean...
It was Cardin, Shadow People, and the rest of the fuckers were chained to 24/7.
Right? Like,
But
I feel
regardless,
like the
I
idea of do you believe in destiny, right? Like, we haven't heard about that in a while. I feel like it's been a minute, you know what I mean? Because that was one of Pyrrha's lines, and it was sort of reiterated through Volume 3, and even, I think, in Volume 2, just a little, you know what I mean? That there was sort of, like, a destiny... idea floating around, right? And so if we went all the way back to back then and sort of, you know, like, this is our destiny to be together, whether that's as partners or romantically, right? This isn't necessarily supposed to be a shipping video, but you could take it either way, that we're destined to be friends and partners, or we're destined to be together, right?
Maybe it's just like, and you left. Or like maybe I keep on fantasizing about something.
And you
going
left, but
terrible.
I came back!
It's like, when
Right?
you left, but and like they have a big blowout and then they get quiet and it's just like, I chose you.
Exactly! That's
Tom
what
Holland
I'm
on
talking
Cal's
about.
phone. I chose you.
I did. I changed my lock screen. I changed my lock screen and I chose him. So yeah, that's basically all I have to say. But one more thing that I do want to go over is, like, I think that Ozpin, like, I don't think that he was, like, it's the first person you make eye contact with, so go ahead, you fucks. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
I don't-
Like,
yeah.
I feel like Ozpin manipulated things somehow. Like, maybe, like, the trajectory of those things that they were standing on blew them into each other's direction. Like, you know what I mean? Because they were standing on these pads, right?
Yes.
And these pads were supposed to make them fly off somewhere. So, like, it just happened that RWBY, Jean, and Weiss were all landed in the same area. Like, come on now, you know what I mean? And so, if they were slanted on an angle, he could have angled them enough that they didn't notice. Like, so, you know, Weiss and RWBY, like, flew into the same direction, or Blake and Yang flew into the same direction, or Jean and Pyrrha flew into the same... You understand what I mean? Like, he could have made those mechanisms kind of try to force people together, like a big puppet shipping master. Like, and you go with Ren,
And
right?
this is
like,
what I do with my spare time.
You know what I mean?
micromanage my students' love life.
And I would love to go back to
It's
that
a hobby.
scene and see why people, like, because obviously I think that people sort of help themselves, like Weiss, I don't remember what she does actually, but Yang, like, shoots from her gauntlets to get places and whatever. I don't
Yeah.
remember what Weiss does. I think she uses her glyphs or
Glyphs.
something, I'm sure.
Pierre just like
flies
slashes
through
some
the
things.
air, right?
Jean tries his best. Yawn! That's what he said as he soared through the
Yeah,
sky.
but that's what I'm saying. I'm
Die.
saying, what if Ozpin, like, slanted the pushy thingies? You know what I mean?
the launch
The
pads?
launch pads. Like,
Maybe.
what if he slanted them to make them go in the same direction, and Ozpin will be like, yeah, I wanted you guys together. Like, not in a romantic way, but more like, I saw the potential in this partnership, so I made you guys get together. Right?
I'm not I was the original aggressive RWBY shipper.
Exactly. Anyway, guys, I hope...
Shadow Dragon has nothing on me.
Oh, God. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, remember that you guys should become patrons over on Patreon and join our Discord server. We have some cool RWBY videos coming down the pipeline, I think, but I'm sort of stuck on writing scripts right now. Like, obviously, for this thing, we make notes, but for this cool thing that I want to show you guys, this is going to be, like...
and I'm gonna have to write.
It's gonna be crazy. So I hope that you guys are ready for that. But yeah, it is sort of taking longer than I expected. So I am trying to sort of make other videos in the meantime. Anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed, and we will see you later. Bye, guys.